Microphone? Yeah, microphone's working. I see people coming back into the room. Please find a seat. Please get your pen and paper out again to write down any questions that you have for the people who do a pitch, and also to write down your marks, your scores. Thanks very much. We have the next speaker here. It's Alfons Jansman, a colleague of mine at Wageningen Livestock Research. Your presentation's there. You've got the button. Okay. So I propose, Alfons, that you start.
It's a real pleasure to present the AVANT project here. Indeed, it is about alternatives to veterinary antimicrobials, so real in the heart of this meeting as well. We work in this innovation action in a consortium with 14 partners from 9 different countries, and the nature of the parties are represented here. You can read that, and really it is about the development and testing of alternatives to antimicrobials, reducing the antimicrobial use in the pig production sector. Pig is clearly the target species here, and more particular, piglets are the target species because we focus on post-weaning diarrhea and the reduction and prevention of post-weaning diarrhea. And in the pig production sector, antibiotic use is relatively high in the piglet phase compared to the other phase in the productive life of pigs. The focus is on testing and evaluation of a variety of different interventions with really different mode of actions. So there are a number of reasons why this topic is important. I'm not going to spend much time on all of them, but there is no current vaccine available to prevent post-weaning diarrhea. There was a solution, but this is forbidden now, the use of zinc oxide, forbidden in the EU since last year. Cholesterol has restrictions, and well, we do not have no good solutions for so far preventing post-weaning diarrhea in many occasions. So we focus on a number of solutions, project solutions we pay attention to, and really it's a variety of potential solutions. We are focusing on the gut microbiome modulators in terms of pre- and probiotics. We focus on-farm fecal transplantation. I have a slide on that in a minute. We focus on phage therapy, which is a virus which is antibacterial and could be helpful to destroy ETEC in farms, a novel innovation. We talk about injectable and in-feed additives, working on the immune system, oral immunostimulants as we call them here, and we're working on a number of nutritional solutions, both targeting at the sows, feeding the sows in a different way, and in that way manipulating the microbiome and the sensitivity, most likely, of the piglets to disease status, which we call post-weaning diarrhea. And we have some activities focused on feeding piglets in a certain way with functional ingredients, always different types of fibers, preventing in that way occurrence of post-weaning diarrhea. A bit more detail here. So we have industry partners which are have activities in pre- and probiotics, so we're testing a number of options there. And we focus on fecal transplantation. That means oral inoculation of piglets just after birth with a more mature microbiome. And in this way is the assumption that we can help the piglets to overcome the critical period of life, being the first 2 weeks after weaning. And here you see one of the results. We are about halfway the project, so we are at the stage of evaluating all the interventions we've tested so far, and that is the stage before we go to the clinical trials in piglets with a selected number of interventions. So here you see the effects of different forms of microbial or fecal microbial transplantation or gastric microbial transplantation on the occurrence of post-weaning diarrhea and effects on fecal consistency. We do that in studies where we apply, let's say, controlled condition for post-weaning diarrhea using a pathogenic ETEC strain to induce diarrhea, and in some cases we just use the natural environment to induce or to observe the effects on post-weaning diarrhea. And here you see an example in which we show that fecal microbial transplantation really can have an effect on the occurrence of post-weaning diarrhea. So it's considered to be a promising intervention. As said, we focus on feeding strategies of both the sows and the piglets. The focus is on, in sows, mostly on the fiber part of the diet. So we have inert fiber and more fermentable fiber. And we believe that that influences not only the microbiome of the sows, but also the microbiome of the piglets, because the first encounter of young piglets after birth is the microbiome of the sow, because they are in touch with the body of their mother. They are in touch with the feces present in the environment. So we think a mature inoculation with a more mature microbiome could help to prevent neonatal and post-weaning diarrhea. Here you see an example of different fiber sources in the diets of sows, both being more structural fiber and fermentable fiber, for example, sugar beet pulp. And here one of the observations was if you feed sugar beet pulp as a fermentable fiber, 1 minute left, then there is a positive effect on the fecal consistency. More results are underway, but this is just one example to show you on what aspect we are working on in terms of nutrition. We are going to make a selection of tooth interventions which go to the clinical phase of the project, where we do more trials under practical conditions in different countries. And we are now at the stage to define which will be taken to this stage, and we are in the stage of selecting farms which could be used for this part of the project. In the end, of course, it's all about what is the effect in the longer run. So there are activities to map the reduction of antimicrobial use in Europe, and to project the reduction of antimicrobial use by the year 2030. And that is what we plan to do. Here are some more details about the coordinator, Luca Goadibassi, who coordinates this project from Denmark. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Alfons.